Welcome back, everyone. Now, Head of Learning and Development and Executive Coach at the FSHN, okay, using her expertise, experience, and education as well from her master's in psychology to design effective training programs throughout the Middle East itself. Translating body gestures means reading nonverbal signals like crossed arms and nodding and, shrugging to understand what a person is truly thinking or feeling without actually using words. So how about this? We get into more details with Oraib Alfozan, PCC and MSc Head of Learning and Development Executive Coach. Welcome, Oraib.
Thank you so much.
It's very great to have you here, and good morning to you.
Oh, good morning to you too.
Hope you're doing well. Now, of course, we're talking about the body language itself, and speaking of that, we got presence actually does start before you speak, and we know that whatever people see is the way that they react towards you. So, can you tell us more in details or get in depth into this?
I know that this is not a very popular opinion simply because people are like, well, you should get to know a person, don't judge a book by its cover. But if you think about human nature and the brain and how it works, it's designed to keep you safe.
Exactly.
So the first thing they do is scan for threat. So that's why judgment is an instinct.
Exactly.
So the first thing they see is what you look like, how you carry yourself, how you walk, how you sit, how you dress.
True.
All of these things.
And it does, absolutely. And it does determine how someone actually gets to treat someone else according to their own behavior. And sometimes it can cause a lot of disruptions, especially when you first get to meet someone from the very first glance, and you start to you want to get into the depth of it, but they say the image sometimes, like you said, it actually creates this either assertiveness, it either creates something that's someone either respects or someone that you want to dodge. So we talk about slow as in powerful. People often rush because they're anxious, or deliberate movements, controlled gestures, and we got the comfortable poses that create authority and elegance. And I was talking about this earlier. How can someone actually determine all of these, or how can we get to the point where people can at least try to understand, in the body language?
Honestly, the key right there is what you said, is slowing down, right? So we're always rushing, and if we think about it, because we're always rushing, we're doing things on autopilot. So everything is very automatic. We get in the car, we're suddenly at work, we don't know how we got there. It means we're not actually present in the moment. So when we're present, you're actually more aware of what you're trying to do, your gestures. Are you shaking your legs in anxiousness? Are
Stressed out.
Yeah, are you picking at your nails? Are you playing with your hair? All of these things can be changed and shifted when you're consciously present and making an effort.
What you're actually saying is quite true, because a lot of the times people, or at least like let's say myself, we wouldn't notice when we're truly stressed out.
No.
But when you focus your attention on someone else, that's when you try to find out, especially when you're relaxed. When you're in a relaxed mode, that's when you notice someone's actually stressed in front of me. And I try to at least tell them, you're stressed out. How would you know that? I mean, your legs are shaking. It's so obvious. Could you please and sometimes it actually bothers people. Yeah, it does. And we want to take a look back at, how do we get to a place of, how do we fix ourselves or our posture, or let's say, how do we try to understand what how can someone actually get to see that side of themselves and fix that part of them besides slowing down?
First key, slowing down. Second key, awareness. And to gain that awareness, my favorite go-to, especially as a trainer and a coach, I tell my clients to take a video of themselves doing a public speaking prompt or a mini presentation and re-watch the video. And the key here is the learning of the public speaking skills itself. So using that, you get to actually see how you come across. So you get to see, for example, how you're standing when you speak, what faces you make. Are you the kind, for example, if you make a mistake and you go, oh, and your face scrunches and it shows? Or are you the kind who can just let it slide and kind of slip under the radar because you're very cool about it? So these things can be seen by video. And the reason for that, it's good to get feedback, but you need feedback, but you also need to see it with your own eyes. That's how we can actually approach the change.
Okay. So can you talk us through, like, let's say, when we talk about elegance, we talk about, you know, someone, it's not just the way that they dress, it's the way that they stand, it's their posture, it's the way that they get to talk to people. And for you to explain that to, you know, the people out there, you know, trying to make them understand how this actually gets to work, you know, because a lot of people get this misunderstanding of elegance means I have to look really put or looking good, which is the first thing that people get to focus on. But the moment you start talking, it's something else.
Exactly.
So
it's not just about the clothes that you wear or the labels or things that are expensive. So people think elegance means luxury and expensive, right?
Yeah.
But that's not really true. It's just how you put things together. It's your style. It's how you bring yourself to the table.
Yeah.
And then it's also how you listen when someone speaks.
Yeah,
you give them a chance to speak.
Yeah.
You have the body language that kind of attunes with the person in front of you or the people in front of you.
Sure.
You don't interrupt, you're not aggressive, you're not rude. That's what it means to be elegant. So it has nothing to do with, oh, I have the best bag, the best shoes, but then if I'm speaking, I'm a little rough around the edges. It doesn't match.
It doesn't match up with the personality itself, because like you've explained very well and very perfectly, that elegance comes right from within. It's not something that you portray within an image itself. It's good to start from there, but it's always perfect to start from within.
Exactly.
I think it's a beautiful thing, and the way you've explained it was wonderful. Now, of course, we're talking about eye communication. Can you talk us through it? And I'm so intrigued when it comes to the eye connection itself. How do you present yourself? We talk about the intentional eye contact, which, you know, it can make a lot of different things.
It does. But we do also have the cultural aspect that we have to be mindful of, because I've done this exercise in multiple different training cohorts, and they'll say, well, we're in an Arab culture, we shouldn't have men and women like gazing into each other's eyes. And I say, well, making eye contact when you're speaking does not mean you stare at them.
It means you're listening.
It means you're listening. It just means you're paying attention to what the person is saying. You don't have to stare at them. It makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you know how they say the eyes are the windows to the soul?
Oh yeah, I love that one.
So this is, the actual embodiment is when you actually pay attention. And the reason for that is you get to see what the person actually feels by looking at them through their face.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think what you've said right there, you know, the eyes are the window to the soul, and when we look at someone's eyes, we can tell when, you know, someone's actually portraying who they are. Sometimes, you know, it's easy to act on, but, you know, you catch glimpses of here and there, and you get to notice, you know, how people truly feel within split seconds. And it's very, very obscure when we come to understand that sometimes holding eye contact doesn't mean something. And sometimes holding eye contact, we have to, like, let's say, put it in 5 seconds.
Maybe.
Before someone actually gets to feel uncomfortable.
Probably less than that, honestly.
People, yeah, some people like get really uncomfortable when you stare at them. So it's just, it depends on who you're, you know, reacting with, or who you're dealing with. And sometimes, you know, they explain it like in psychology, or like, you have to do this, you have to do that. But there's certain aspects that you can't really, you know, take it one by one.
No, you can't. And honestly, one of the best studies to reference is this psychologist. His name is Paul Ekman. He studied micro expressions, and these are the split seconds of expression that you see on the face. So you have the cues of the eye, the mouth, the nose, the facial expressions, and then there's the 7 universal expressions. So happy, anger, disgust, contempt, and so on.
Yeah.
You can catch it in a person's face, and then you can react accordingly or respond accordingly.
True.
It makes them more comfortable.
Yeah, that is 100% true. So we talk about movements. Now, every movement actually should have a purpose within itself. So can you explain more in details of how that works?
So if we're talking, let's take an example of an executive meeting, right? So now you're in an executive meeting, you have a position, you should be carrying yourself a certain way. Does that mean to be fake? No, but you have to be mindful people are watching, right? The people that you are leading. So if you're sitting there tapping your pen on the the paper, or you're on your phone scrolling on Instagram while your other colleagues are speaking, what does that say about you? So this is where you have to be more intentional.
Yeah.
What do I want to portray from this position and from this seat right now? I can scroll on my phone in my break time.
Sure.
Right? Not during the meeting.
Absolutely.
So what is it that you want to portray? What message are you sending? And does this align with your goals, your values?
Yeah. I think what you said right there actually can go all well together with not just being at work, but it works every single place.
Even with family.
When you're with family, you know, I think social media and, you know, technology itself with, you know, the evolution, you know, people are very so much out of tune within the world and being present and more focused on their phones, which means that they're not really quite where they're at. And they're always focusing on what's next, what's next. I'm like, why not now? What is wrong with now? I think now is very beautiful. And it's always great to, you know, talk about it. It's always great to kind of get to experience the moment itself. Moments are fleeting.
They are fleeting, and I think people do need to get back to that. And the best way to do that, and I feel like this is probably such an overdone advice, but it's true. Waking up without your phone, going to bed without your phone. Being more mindful when I'm with my family, let me get curious about their day, let me get curious about what's fun for them. With friends, same thing. The phone is there, right? It's not going away anytime soon. So why not focus on the now?
True.
Why next?
True. Why next? So we all know that presence is very important. And when we talk about presence, what do we mean by that?
So we could say it in a way where it's like your energy, what you bring to the table, what you bring into the room. So you know how when someone says when she walks into the room, everyone feels lighter. Or people might feel heavier, or people might feel fear or anxiousness. So that depends on your presence. And that could mean what their experience of you was, or it could just simply mean what it is that you do in your behavior. So it's something that you can measure and observe, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm the kind of person who's never smiling and I'm always frowning and I'm always yelling, that's part of my presence now, because then it creates a reputation, it creates an image or something that people will associate me with, and then that carries forward.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% true. And then they say that, like they explain it, that presence means not being the loudest, but also not being too quiet. Because sometimes the over-quietness can scare a lot of people. And it may give the wrong assumptions to people. And sometimes we may overlook certain things. Because they always say the quietest person is the most dangerous one of all times.
It's true though. It's actually true because, now here's the thing, if you're quiet due to intentionality, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because you know what you're doing. You're observing the room. You're reading people. You're trying to understand the circumstances and situations. But if you're quiet because you're shy or you're timid or you're afraid to speak up, you're shrinking.
People can sense that. Well, that was a very lovely conversation. I wish we could go on more and more over time. But of course, thank you so much, Oraib Alfozan, for being here, a guest with us at KTV2 and of course on Good Morning Kuwait.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, of course, thanking our guest, Oraib Alfozan, PCC MSc Head of the Learning, as well as the Development Executive Coach. Stay tuned, and we will be right back.